I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good about myself. I felt gross. Indigestion. I did not feel good. When I was younger, it was really hard being overweight because kids can be really mean. Actually, I had this big hot pink coat, and the other kids had called me the pink penguin because I was this little kid, chubby kid in this pink coat waddling. So it was not fun being chubby and overweight as a child. I knew I had to make a change. I started to really try to focus on what I was eating and know what I was eating. Sometimes you just keep putting things in your mouth and not realizing what you're eating, where if you actually focus on it, you can't believe how much you actually ate that day. So I started focusing more and just paying attention. One thing about me is that I love food, and I've always loved food, and especially I love red meat. I love burgers, I love meatloaf, I love, sausage in the morning. I really like red meat.
Now that I'm at a healthy weight, I'd like to see if I can incorporate red meat back into my diet.
There are a lot of people who think that red meat cannot be a part of a healthy diet, and it's completely not true. Well, I know we both agree that dieting is not the way to go. It's really about healthier eating. So that's why I think some of these things are such good alternatives, because you don't want to give up beef. It's actually very high in zinc and iron and a lot of the nutrients that women need, not to mention the fact that it can be a good lean source of protein. This ground sirloin that I got from my grocery store has 200 calories for a 4-ounce serving, whereas the 96% lean ground beef that I buy has only 130 calories per serving. And so right there you cut 70 calories. The other options are something like a top round steak. On that you'd want about a 4-ounce portion also, and one of the ways you can tell, you use the size of the palm of your hand, because who wants to sit and cut calories?
And that's about it, right?
Right.
This makes me realize I do need to learn more about how to actually cook it.
Well, it does make a big difference, because some people say, well, if you're using a leaner cut of meat, it's going to be dry. And it's not that it's not going to be dry if you cook it right. You never want to smash a burger on a grill. I've seen so many people do that, and I'm like, oh. People think you're taking fat out. If you're using a lean cut, it doesn't have a lot of fat in it. Instead, what you're doing is squeezing out the juice. So it's going to be dry. And I insist on burgers always being drippy and needing a napkin, or it's not even worth eating. I think the most important thing to know about red meat is that it can be worked into a healthy diet. It can be very lean, and if you cook it properly, it can be insanely delicious. Elizabeth is a great example of someone who really thought that she was gonna have to take something out of her diet. And even until today, she didn't think that she could make a big drippy burger, and it was so fun to watch her take a bite and see all the juice on the plate and know that she'd need a napkin. I always say that a lot of people are healthy and a lot of people are happy, and very few people are both. So by using some of these tips, you can be both.
Okay, good to know. I feel really good now. My health feels so much better. Just so much better. My stomach is just a ton better. I'm not as bloated. I don't have as much indigestion. Now it's like I go out and I feel comfortable talking to people, and I met a new guy, and I think a lot of that was not that I was so horrible before, but just because I felt better about myself, and that comes across.